Hello there and welcome to my first ever FlossTube video. My name is Kat and I've been running this channel for about a year now, but up until this point I've just been sharing tips and tutorials, anything I can think of to help all of you cross stitchers get the most joy from your cross stitching. But I know that a lot of you might just be curious to see what I'm stitching, and I would absolutely love to share that with you. So I decided to make a FlossTube video. And I just want to talk through all the projects that I'm stitching on. So it's a classic to start with, just the old WIP parade. Now I might also share some more behind the scenes stuff for Catkin and Lillie. So maybe my design process, what I'm working on. So if you're up for that, then do let me know if you'd like to see that as well. And I want to give a shout out to all my lovely subscribers because I just reached 1,000 of you and that's absolutely amazing to me. So if you're not already a subscriber, then please do come and join us. That would be absolutely wonderful to have you along. So for my first WIP parade, I've collected everything. I've got a big box here with all my projects in, and I'm not the kind of stitcher that has 70 WIPs on the go. So hopefully this video won't be too long, but I do love a good old chat about cross stitch, so who knows. Now this year I also started documenting my cross stitch, and that's something I haven't really done before. But I wanted to give it a go, so I've now got some project folders, and get it the right way around. I've got a log sheet. It's a little difficult to see because it's shiny, but I've got a log sheet, and then I have a page for each project so I can document the details of it. And yes, I'm going to give it a little bit of a plug because these sheets, they are ones that I sell in my Etsy shop, so I'll drop a link in the description if you're interested in those, and they're definitely keeping me nice and organised, and it's also going to be really helpful for me to have the details to hand when I want to share things about the projects that I'm working on. So before I dive into the box, I wanted to show you one that I have finished recently, and this is He's a Fun Guy from, that's a Bothy Threads kit, so I've stitched it on the speckly fabric. I do like this speckly fabric. And as I say, that's a Bothy Threads kit. It's one of the Rendale designs, and this one's waiting for washing and pressing, but I have 6 other of the Rendale Designs Bothy Threads kits hanging up on my wall, so I've kind of got a bit of a gallery going on there, so I've got one more to add to that collection. Okay, so the first project that I want to show you is actually a stitch along, and it's not something I've done too much of, but I've got another project folder with a log sheet for stitch alongs, and then I've got, again, project sheets for each one, but I thought it would be really fun to do. So I'm doing a stitch along from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and I've got that in a really cute caterpillar cross stitch bag, which is got an extra pocket on the front, which is really handy. And obviously I can't show you a picture of it because it's a stitch along, so it's a mystery, but obviously I can show you the lovely colours here, and they came with sheets that you could print out of these little shield shapes that you can print and use as floss drops. So of course I had to do that because they are just way too cute not to use. And then we've had 3 parts out of 10 so far for this one, and it's called Castle Homecoming. So as you might expect, let's try and get that in there for you. That's what I'm up to. So this is my first time actually using hand-dyed fabric, so that's quite exciting. This is 16 count Valor by Picture This Plus. So it was the one recommended for the stitch along, so I thought it would be fun to use that. And I'm using all the called for colours. They're all DMC colours, with 2 classic Colourworks in there, which are variegated threads. So that's been quite fun using those. So as I'm having quite a lot of fun stitching that one. And yeah, looking forward to lots more parts. It's not going to be finished until February 2024. So it's going to be a little while. It's a long one. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my other WIPs that aren't stitch alongs. And the first of these is, it's a little bit of a shameful one, this, but it's not really. This is a Dimensions kit. Now I picked this up. So this is the pattern, it's Wildflower Wreath. Now this is one I picked up when I came back to stitching. So I learnt to stitch when I was a teenager, and then I didn't stitch for quite a long time. And when I came back to it about 5 years ago, I used to quite like stitching floral things. So I picked up this pattern, and thought I'd give it a go. And I did quite enjoy it, but I sort of just fell out of love with it, and then I stopped stitching it. So I don't know exactly when I started this. I think it was about 2018. And it's probably a bit of a shame that as I've actually done, I've done quite a lot, and it's really quite pretty. The colours are lovely, but like I say, I think I fell out of love with it a bit, so I don't know. I haven't stitched on it for ages. Maybe I'll go back to it. I'm not even sure I can really call it a WIP, to be honest, because I haven't stitched on it for so long. But there we go. So that's stitched with all that was a kit, so I've stitched it with the threads, the fabric that's in there, which is a 14 count Aida, a sort of slightly cream colour. So maybe I'll go back to that one. I'll keep you posted. The second project I have to share with you is going to be quite hard to show you. I might have to put a picture up, I think, to show you what it looks like. I will try and show you. But this is my labour of love. It is a HAED, a Heaven and Earth Designs. And look, I can't even really show you because this is how big it is. I mean, if I hold it back here, can I just about get that in? I don't know. It's huge, obviously. That's kind of the point of Heaven and Earth Designs. And I started this one on the 12th of October 2019. So it's coming up on 4 years. And as you might be able to see from that, this, if I can find the corner, this is the only bit I've got left to stitch. I'm at 98%. So I'm really excited to finish this. Hopefully that will be fairly soon, and then I can show you what it's like. But yeah, that one's been a massive labour of love, and I am so excited to get that finished and up on the wall. So project number 3 has also been running for a little while, and you might be able to tell from the bag, look at those cute little robins on there, is a Christmas project. So I've been bringing this one out. I started it in about September 2021. So I've had a couple of years working on this. And it's called Christmas Friends by Doreen Jones. So I'll try and put a picture up on screen for you. And there's the floss for it. And it's actually pretty good. I've got quite a decent bit done. There's a lot of blue left to do at the top, but oh my goodness, it's too cute, this one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually finishing that one off. So obviously I haven't stitched on this one since about Christmas last year. So I am looking forward to getting back into that one and finishing that. That's just on 16 count white Aida, which is honestly kind of my go-to fabric really. Project number 4. This is another one that's been going for a little while, since the 3rd of June 2022, so just over a year. And this one is House in the Woods by River Drift House. So I will put a picture up on the screen for you of that one. And there's a story behind why this one's been going for so long, to be honest. And that's the floss. So just actually only 7 colours. So I thought it'd be a bit of an interesting change, this one, just to have a really sort of limited colour palette to use. And the reason this is on here is because I ran out of my floss drops and I had to stick it on a card instead. But it's a lovely sampler style. You'll see I've sort of been trying, since I came back to cross stitch, and say about 5 years ago, I've been trying out some slightly different styles just to see what I like. Because I think things do change over time. And that's the size of it. And you can see that's the really cute little motifs. And this one's just really fun to stitch if I want something really, really easy, because it's just blocks of colour for the motifs. Really super simple. So it's a lovely relaxing stitch. Now, the reason I haven't got too far with this is because I actually started it again. So the first time I started, I'd bought some DMC fabric, 16 count, instead of my usual Zweigart, which is my go-to. Now I thought I'd try the DMC, and I started stitching this project, and I, after a bit, just noticed that the squares, I mean, they're square, but they didn't look square. And when I measured the count of the fabric, it was slightly different in one direction than the other. So everything was a little bit off. And for a lot of projects that might not matter, but for this one, I mean, it's all about the regular blocks, and it was going to look so rubbish if it was not square, especially framing the whole thing at the end if it wasn't square. So I had to ditch it, and I started again on Zweigart. And yeah, that was a little bit disappointing on the fabric front, but I feel a lot better that I had to restart it. It was the only right thing to do, really, so yeah. Now, project number 5 is actually, it's another finished one, and it's just in here because it's in my project log, so it's in that order, so I'm just going to share it anyway, and because I just think it is just lovely. It's really cute, and yeah, this is very much me. Coffee and books. I do like reading, and I love my coffee. So this was a really cute little bookmark design from Birdie Stitches. The pattern came from Etsy, and it's absolutely beautiful. Really, really clear pattern, really easy to read. I definitely recommend. I will put a link to Birdie Stitches in the description below. And I stitched this one on, actually, do you know what? I don't know what the fabric is. It's 16 count, and I think it's cream. It's Ada. And I used all the threads as per the pattern. I did leave off, I think there was supposed to be some back stitch on here, and possibly at the bottom, but I did leave that off. I just didn't think it needed it. So yeah, that one's waiting to be washed, pressed and finished up. It's designed as a bookmark, so that's how I'm going to finish that one, I think. Project number 6. This is, again, another bit of a trial for me, just to see what I think. I have a lot of my projects, as I say, I've only got a few special bags. A lot of them are just in these mesh pouches that I got off of Amazon. And this one is Birds at the Water Pump, which is a Lanart kit. And again, I've never stitched anything from them before. I kind of just wanted to try it out to see what I thought. So I said this one was a kit, so the threads are all as per the kit. Not looking very tidy, but there you go. You can see the colours are really soft, pretty pastel colours. And I'm using the fabric in the kit. I wasn't going to because it is a 27 count. Yeah, it's 27 count even weave. And just a sort of really pretty cream colour. So it's quite a big piece of fabric. And you can see there's the start that I've made on it. And yeah, I'm really liking doing it. The reason I wasn't sure about the fabric is that I prefer to work on a higher count fabric than 27 count. But I just couldn't find another one that I liked any better than the one that was in the kit in terms of the colour. So I just thought, fine, I'll stick with it. Let's do it. And I'll do it as is as well and see what I feel about it. And I'm sure I'm going to love it. So yeah, that one's a little bit of a new one for me. And you'll see on this one, I started at the bottom of this design. And yeah, it varies. I tend to start in the middle more often than not, but sometimes I start in a corner or at the bottom. So just depends how I'm feeling, I guess. Project number 7 is another Bothy Threads kit, but a different designer from the Rendell ones. This is Rachel Froud, and this is the Menagerie Illusion. Just, I mean, look at those colours. When I saw this, I knew I had to stitch it. And it could be a bit of an addiction as well, because there are several more in this range as well. So it could end up like the Rendell ones that I end up building a bit of a collection. And if I show you the threads, I mean, goodness me, they're not tidy. None of them ever are. But this is where I'm up to on this. And just look at that. I didn't necessarily intend to start with the eye. It just sort of worked that way, and it's quite funny. And you can see it's on this 14 count printed fabric, which is actually really nice to stitch on. I'm never a huge fan of the threads as much, I have to be honest, in the Bothy Threads kits. I do find they sort of tangle and knot a little bit more than some other kits, but they are, I mean, the colours are stunning. I also don't love 14 count as much to stitch on because I just don't find the coverage as great. And I know I could do 3 strands, but probably not from a kit because I'd run out of thread. And I prefer my loop start too much to use 3 strands most of the time anyway. So if it's 14 count, I do just tend to stick with the 2 strands. But yeah, this one is an absolutely fantastic one. I started this in June this year, so not been stitching on it for very long. So yeah, lots more progress to be made on that one. And then I just have a couple of little random things that I'm stitching on as well. There's just a little bookmark. I don't always have a lot of time to go and stitch magazine kits as well, but this one was really cute, so I have just made a start on that. The little lighthouse, I think that would make either a really nice bookmark, or honestly, I'll probably make a card out of it. I do enjoy making greeting cards, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but that one's in there as well. And you might be thinking, you haven't seen any of my projects yet. So I do have a couple. These ones, I haven't put them on project sheets because honestly, I stitched so many of them, I would have folders and folders of them. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this one already. This is my snowman. Because yes, Christmas in July is a thing, and I thought I would do it this year. And this snowman, I have 3 of these little snowmen patterns. You can buy them individually or as a trio, and I've only ever stitched them on white, and I just thought the colours would really pop on black, so I thought I'd make life difficult for myself and stitch on some black fabric. But actually it's not that bad, and I will give a plug for my video. I have a video with tips to help you stitch on black and dark fabrics, so I will pop a link to that in the description if you want some tips for stitching on dark fabric. So yeah, he's nearly finished actually. I've done most of that, just back stitching to do really for that one, and a few little spots of snow. So looking forward to getting that one done, and I will probably do my usual. I'll congratulate myself for starting something Christmassy in July, and I probably won't touch it again for maybe until September. So I always think, hey, excellent, I've made a start, that's fantastic, and then I don't do anything else till nearly Christmas. So yeah, we'll see if I get any more Christmas stuff done. So the next project of mine, and these are actually, I'll show you this pouch here because I have 3 of these really cute little ones with glitter words on them. They're from Sarah Ashford, and I will pop a link to those in the description. Now, this one's one I'm stitching of my own, and it's not available yet. I've been designing it, and I don't know what, I'm just not feeling it. It's probably fine. You guys can tell me, do you want to see this one? Because there's probably nothing wrong with it. I don't know why I've kind of gone a bit off. This is a cute little coffee cup, and I've not intended it to have any backstitch on it, although you probably could. Maybe I'll do a backstitch and non-backstitch version. And yeah, it's a coffee cup, so I don't know why I'm not loving it. Do you guys want to see this one released as a pattern? If I do, it'll come with some other different wording options. There's a coffee bean and all sorts as well, and you could even make it as a layered. I've got a version that could be a layered one stitched on perforated paper, so you'd stitch it up and make a little sort of slightly more 3D coffee cup, which would be so cute for putting like gift cards in and stuff, I think. But yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of dragging my feet on this one, so let me know if you want to see that one. And that is all the WIPs, but I do want to give a quick shout out to a couple of things that I've got lined up to stitch, and one of them is another designer on Etsy that I absolutely love, and I haven't stitched anything from her yet, but this is from Cubicle cross stitches, and I've just got the pattern here so that you can hopefully see. Actually, hang on, there you go, that side's slightly better. That's the design, and I mean, it's rainbow colours. I'd agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong, which I think I possibly need to stitch this for my husband, because that is definitely him. But yeah, it looks like it'll just be such a lovely stitch. So I will put a link to Cubicle cross stitches in the description as well. And so that one's going to be one that I'm going to hopefully start soon. I also have, I'll just show you another Bothy Threads kit because of course I do. And it's another chameleon. So I think I bought this at the same time as the Menagerie Illusion chameleon one that I showed you. So I was obviously having a bit of a thing about chameleons. So yeah, that one ready to be started at some point. And this one I'm super excited by. This is a Bella Filipina. Now, I have wanted to stitch, this is Rossa. I've wanted to stitch either a Mirabilia or a Nora Corbett or a Bella Filipina for quite a while, and I've finally got this one because it's not too huge, so I think it'll be quite a good place to start. But I haven't got the threads for it yet. I have just ordered some fabric. I was really unsure what to stitch it on, but I've ordered some fabric, so I'll show you that one in another video if I do more of these. I have ordered, as you can see, I've got the beads and I've got some sparkly thread. I haven't got it in the pouch here, but yeah, I've got the beads and the speciality thread for it. So I'm waiting for my fabric and we will see. So that one's in progress. So that is my first ever FlossTube. That's the project I'm stitching on, things I'm excited to start working on. And I hope you've really enjoyed that little run through of everything, and just let me know what you thought, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of, maybe. If you want to see behind the scenes stuff as well, just, yeah, let me know what you thought. Give it a like if you liked it. I hope you did. And say make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on these videos, and of course more stitchy tips and tutorial videos. I will keep sharing those as well. So thank you very much for watching, and happy stitching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.